Hey, welcome to the channel. So I thought today we'd talk a little bit about batteries and how to take a weak battery and bring it back. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and today what we're going to talk about is, we always have that dead battery, right? And the first thing comes to mind here is, why is it dead? If it sat in the vehicle prolonged in cold weather and hadn't been started, or did somebody leave the headlights on? Did somebody not shut the door on a vehicle? Had the dome light? Somebody leave a key switch on accident? All those things happen. But here's where you run into problems, right? And that is trying to get that battery to charge back up. Because most of your conventional battery chargers that you have now, matter of fact, I've got one up there on my neighbor's that his car had a problem this morning with he couldn't get it started yesterday, so I stopped this morning. And it read just about 1 volt. That's how dead it was. And that charger kept trying to say it was a bad battery to get rid of it, right? But what I do is I trick it. And that is with this charger and that one. That one does 200 as well, and this one here does up to 200. And what we do is we hot shot it. And what do I mean by hot shot? I mean, if we take this battery right now, this is your typical lawnmower battery, right? And you put the tester on it. Right now, it's reading 0 to 1 on a 12 volt system. All right. So if I take this off and hook up my regular battery cables, and I recommend that you have these hooked up before you turn the charger on, so you're not arcing, because these batteries, you got to think battery safety first, okay? And that is a battery arcing and exploding. It can happen, does happen. You just got to do the right thing, and wear eye protection when you're around them. It's better to have a shield. But I hook them up before I even turn it on. And let's put it on hold. This will keep it charging. All right, at 2 and 10, it's not taking a charge. It's sitting there. But if I crank it up to 200 amp, let it sit for a minute. And 200 amp is so if you want to jump start. What you're doing is you're putting a lot of juice into that battery in a hurry. All right, once we jump start it, if we let it sit for a minute or two, now I'm going to take it back to 40 amp. And now with it on a 10 amp charge, it's saying that that battery is good enough to charge. And typically that's where we set it at, is 10 amp. If we're going to do like an overnight charge, where we just set it and walk away from it, all right? The big thing is if you don't know batteries, there's a reason why there's a plus on one side and a minus on the other. The plus is positive, the minus is negative. Your plus, which is normally your red cable, and your minus, which is normally your ground cable, which is normally colored black. Don't always go by the color code. I've seen people use red handle for the negative and the black for the positive. Why they do that, I don't know. But if on all batteries, you should be able to see it's a plus sign or a minus sign. This one's got the plus here. This one's got the minus here. This is a side-by-side one. These are sealed batteries, all right? I've got a battery out here that you can pop top and look inside the cells, and sometimes they'll get low, and you can just take and add more fluid to them, acid to them, to bring it back and then charge it. Now, let me just shut this off for a minute. Throw these back on. And now that's reading up around week. So we brought it up that far already. So if I let that sit all night, 10 amp trickle charge, if it's any kind of a battery, it'll charge it right up just like if it's a brand new one. If after a period of time and I charge it and the battery still goes dead on me, time to get rid of it. This is a different battery. This is a marine grade and is deep cell. Same thing, plus is positive, minus is negative. This one reads 12 volt, but it's not enough to start my tractor. I just brought it down and I said, well, why not do a video on it? But you put your black on the minus and you put your red on the positive, which is the plus. We're going to turn it on, put it on hold, take it up to 40. It's taking 40 amps right now. And if you take, can you hear that? That's where you get into problems. And a lot of times when you have your dead battery and you pull up your car and you use jumper cables and you're coming across with hot cables. So what ends up happening is you can get an arc, and if there's any gas or anything around it, it will explode. Never happened to me, thank goodness, but I do know that it's possible. So if you're going to be around and you want to do a quick charge on it, like for an hour or two, you can run it right around 40 is what I've got it on right now. If you're going to do an overnight, drop it back to 10 or 2. 10 is where we set it. We don't have anything where we have set up that can burn. So if it does catch fire, it's all concrete here. So just be aware that if you're going to charge a battery overnight, is to make sure that it's on some place that it's not going to catch fire. That you have to keep that in mind and keep it away from combustibles and stuff. If you got any questions, and I know I'm probably missing some of this stuff, because I mean the biggest thing when you're dealing with batteries is do it safely. They can cause damage to you, your eyes, your skin. They've got acid in them, and you just have to take the precautions. So if you're going to charge a battery with a charger, hook it up first before you apply the juice. Don't do it after where you're causing it to arc. Keep that in mind if you're on the side of the road and somebody offers to jump start your vehicle, is that if it's coming from his cables to yours, you've got hot cables that will arc. If you put it on yours first and go back to his, it's less likely to arc because it's coming from a dead battery. So on that note, put in the comments if I'm missing something, if I said it incorrectly, correct me please. And if you have any other questions on when it comes to batteries, and I get this all the time, is what's the best battery to buy? And I've dealt with this yesterday and today, and I've had guys tell me up and down that, like with that battery there, that was $215 is what he paid for that battery. And it's a Polaris battery. It's not made by Polaris, but he went to a Polaris dealer and got it. And I said, why not go to Walmart? And he said, well, Walmart, their batteries are no good. That battery wouldn't hold a charge overnight in his side-by-side. Brand new battery. Lawnmower batteries, Walmart or Tractor Supply. But you need to match your battery with the machine that you're going to have. A zero turn and the bigger engines require more cranking power. So if you cheapen out and you go for, like this one here is a 300, which is good. But if you go for like the 200 and you've got a zero turn, you got a 28 horse Kohler sitting on it, you're kind of cheapening out, and it really needs more battery to crank that thing over to do it correctly. If you got an old Sears Craftsman, yeah, that's fine, because usually they have like a 10 or a 12 horse on the friggin' things. But the bigger the horsepower, the more it takes to spin it over. So be aware of that. Check the batteries when you buy it. This one here is an Everstart from Walmart. 6/21. That means this one was produced June of 21. If you go to buy a battery at Walmart this coming spring, because now it's 26, don't buy a battery that says 25 or 24. Look for the battery that was produced in 26 to get the freshest battery out there. Most of them have a date code on them, right on it. It's usually a sticker, just like that. We deal mostly with Tractor Supply and Walmart because they're the cheapest for our customers. On that note, you guys have a great day.